Welcome back. While surveys often cite a general number, let's call it a magic number, like, say, the $1.26 million that most Americans believe they need to retire. Well, experts argue that this figure is an arbitrary retirement amount, and it's dangerous because it ignores individual spending habits and life stages. But a lot of us won't outlive our retirement savings. There's a growing movement popularized by this guy by the name of Bill Perkins. He wrote a book, Die with Zero. And he argues with dying with money is a failure of resource management. Well, that was interesting. My dad was Dutch, so I'd like to hear more, right? I'm not sure how you can plan when you die, but obviously somebody wrote a book about it. But interesting enough for me, he says that any wealth left over when you do finally die represents hours of your life spent working for free. Interesting. I think that's a unique view. And he also says that the value of money decreases as you age because your health and energy to enjoy it also declines, right? For instance, a backpacking trip at 30 has more utility than a luxury hotel stay at the age of 80. And finally, he says this, and I totally agree with this, that spending on experiences early in life creates a dividend of memories you can enjoy for the rest of your years. So I wanted to get the view of our retirement guy. He's a retirement expert on this. Welcome. So let's welcome into the show Mr. Craig Bolanos. He's a co-founder and wealth advisor for VestGen Wealth Partners up in Chicago. All right, I'm going to add one more thing to that, and I'm going to let you take this and run with it because I'm sure there's some flaws in everything I just said. But anyway, I do remember this. I lived 16 years over in London, and I traveled Europe extensively, a lot of times on business and a lot of times with my family. And I do remember being young in my 20s and 30s, having a blast traveling Europe and looking at those buses of American tourists getting off with their walkers and their wheelchairs and not being able to really fully enjoy the Spain that I was enjoying or the France that I was enjoying. And so I do think there's something to that, but I'm sure you've probably got a good retort to what this gentleman had to say that wrote the book. So what about this retirement goal, this magic number, this 1.26 is what some people say. I just also saw another article yesterday that says it's 1.46 million, this magic number. What are your thoughts?
I think all of this is incredibly thought-provoking. I'm going to sum it up with one line, Scott. Make sure people die with zero regrets, not $0. Let me say that again. Die with zero regrets, not $0, right? Because everybody, when they look back in life, I think I can say this, we regret the things we didn't do much more so than the things that we did. And I think that is the point that this entire book is trying to drive home. And really, your show is about education and empowerment. And what I want is, you just mentioned the 1.226, or maybe it's 1.46. Here's the bottom line. Everybody should know their numbers. And what I mean by their numbers is people viewing, watching right now, those who are listening. I want everybody to have a financial plan. And when I say know your numbers, know how big the compilation of your nest egg needs to be in order to generate the monthly income that you need in order to get retired and stay retired. So you got to know your nest egg, and you got to know how that nest egg is going to generate the income. Once you have those numbers, then Scott, I'm living proof. I told my 24-year-old the time to go to Japan is right now. Spring, right now, because he's 24. I'm 51. I still haven't gone to Japan. I don't know that I have an interest in going to Japan. I got so much I want to see in the United States, but I would argue a $5,000 to $10,000 trip for a 24-year-old is going to pay memory dividends, to use the phrase you just mentioned, more than me taking a $100,000 trip when I'm age 80. So live your life now. Die with zero regrets, not zero money.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great, and you're right. And I got lucky. I've traveled extensively. I mean, it's been. If I died right now, I'd have my life's been fantastic when it comes to that. But I would say this too. I mean, do you know? Is there a stat out there that says how many people die before they actually, go through all their retirement? I mean, do you talk about that ever? I mean, do most people die before they use your retirement? How many people live out their retirement? I mean, is there a stat about how many people outlived all their money? I mean, there must be something like that.
Well, Scott, there's stats everywhere. What I can do is I can frame a response from me as a practitioner. The vast majority of clients that I serve at VestGen Wealth Partners end up dying with the most money they've ever had exactly at the point in time they don't need it. And how did we get there? Because people are not comfortable spending down principal. People just aren't comfortable. People aren't wired to spend down money. But I do see a shift. I see a shift across our clients. I see a shift across the industry where it's been becoming for more than a decade less and less about stuff, more and more about experiences. And I think there's a whole future generation of retirees coming, and they are not baby boomers. They start with Generation X, who is going to be more adapt to do phase spending, where they actually plan to consume capital, because a lot of those people coming up in Generation X are going to be inheriting money from the baby boomers. And there's a different sense of attitude tied to funds that are inherited versus funds that have been worked for.
I mean, those are all great points. You're right. And that's things I wanted to kind of also throw out there before we left, is that I'm not trying to be, Debbie Downer to the kids that might be getting a big inheritance and they don't want their parents to spend everything. I get that, and I get that worry. But it's one of those things that I thought it was interesting how they phrased it, that if you die with a lot of money in the bank, that's think about all the hours you worked basically for nothing. And so if there's any way that you can kind of make all those two things mesh at the right time, I know that's not possible, but I guess there is some sort of goal.
No, Scott, it is possible. I'm sorry, I got to jump. Yeah, I didn't mean to jump in, but it is possible. Go and work with a great financial planner, a good wealth manager who's going to model cash flow strategies for you so you can begin to have your money transcend you for your own experiences and the experiences of everyone that you know, love, and trust while you're here. That's what I call fulfillment. I think true wealth is everything that money can't buy and death can't take away, and having experiences and shared passions is a part of that, but you can't spend freely until you know your numbers, and your numbers come from cash flow and goals-based modeling. Get with a planner, America, and you too will be a little bit more worry-free, and you can live more.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All great stuff as usual. People write in all about you too, Craig. We really appreciate you coming on the show. Craig Bolanos, coming to us from VestGen Wealth Partners. He's an advisor and co-founder of that place there up in Chicago. Love having him on the show.